I walk a careful line here because as a health coach, I'm not an MD. So as a health coach in our country and in a lot of the world, you can get into a lot of trouble for prescribing. And if maybe I just say, look, you might want to look into taking a magnesium supplement. Here's one I know of. Someone could interpret that as you just prescribed me to take something. And, so I'm always a little careful, but yeah, I mean, magnesium, I would say if you're going to take it, and of course, talk to your MD first. But if you're going to take it, the kind I would take, because it's really not, people don't know this, it's not absorbed well when you take it orally. And from a supplement standpoint, if you're eating food that's higher in magnesium, that's different. But if you're just taking an oral, like a gel tab for magnesium, it doesn't get absorbed well, especially if you don't have a strong and healthy gut. So most people don't have a strong and healthy gut. And even if you do, it's still not absorbed that well. So I would use a spray kind of magnesium. I think that's a little bit better. You spray it on your skin, rub it in. That's a better way to go.
Okay, welcome to another episode, My Gut Loss. Today we've got a special guest. He's founder of his own company dealing with training. As you can see, he's wearing the t-shirt PPT. Val, what's up? Thanks for being here today.
Thank you very much, Travis. It's good to be here, buddy. I'm looking forward to this.
Wicked. How are you able to tell what your clients' nutritional deficits are in order to have them filled?
Yeah, great question. So a lot of it is just when we do a diet diary, and sometimes that's a formal kind of thing where the client is really writing down and taking a lot of time. Other times it's not so formal. They don't really want to calculate and weigh all their food. They just want to say, well, I tend to eat this. I tend to avoid this. And so I'll give you an example. What I see a lot of times is someone will talk to me about their nutrition, and I will notice that, first of all, I should tell you, magnesium, for example, is a very, it's a common, shortage, I guess. People are generally very low on magnesium. And then when I hear their diet or when I read their diet, I realize, not a lot of magnesium going on in terms of their nutritional intake, right? And then the couple of other ways that I can answer your question that I can find that out are, in the case of magnesium anyway, I look at stress. If stress levels are high, even if you're consuming enough magnesium every day, you can actually lose a lot of magnesium from stress. The physiological response to stress, if you don't manage it well, will actually eat up magnesium. So even if their diet diary suggests they're good on magnesium, for example, I will look at lifestyle factors like sleep and stress and things like that, and I'll realize, oh wow, they probably are actually going to be deficient. And the other thing too are symptoms. So in that case, for example, if somebody says that they have restless leg syndrome or something like that, a lot of symptoms will point us in the direction of thinking, all right, so they're probably deficient on this mineral or rare earth element or whatever the case is, vitamin.
So you look at the overall diet. Would you recommend, because it's something that I've heard a few times from a few people, to write down what you eat, so that you could have a good idea of how much you're taking in regularly? And I kind of not really a fan of that.
Nobody is.
Or weighing your food. I mean, weigh your food. Come on, you're supposed to eat your food, not weigh it. But then I can see how it makes sense that you want to know how much you're eating, so that you don't overeat. But going to the deficiency side, you're talking about life factors, living in Western civilization, get up early in the morning, get on a train, rush with the crowd. Plus now we have the extra factor of you got a mask up, and we're like, oh no, it's coming to winter. What's gonna happen?
Yeah.
And it's everyone's like on edge, crazy. So I could totally understand our bodies trying to negotiate all of this, causing us to be deficient in certain things. and you would recommend what in order to address these sort of deficiencies? What would you recommend?
Well, it's a tough one because
So,
again,
for example,
we're kind of
magnesium.
for example, just about magnesium. What would I recommend?
Yeah, I asked about two: magnesium and zinc.
Zinc. Well, I walk a careful line here because as a health coach, I'm not an MD. So as a health coach in our country and in a lot of the world, you can get into a lot of trouble for prescribing. And if maybe I just say, look, you might want to look into taking a magnesium supplement. Here's one I know of. Someone could interpret that as you just prescribed me to take something. And, so I'm always a little careful, but yeah, I mean, magnesium, I would say if you're going to take it, and of course, talk to your MD first. But if you're going to take it, the kind I would take, because it's really not, people don't know this, it's not absorbed well when you take it orally. And from a supplement standpoint, if you're eating food that's higher in magnesium, that's different. But if you're just taking an oral, like a gel tab for magnesium, it doesn't get absorbed well, especially if you don't have a strong and healthy gut. So most people don't have a strong and healthy gut. And even if you do, it's still not absorbed that well. So I would use a spray kind of magnesium. I think that's a little bit better. You spray it on your skin, rub it in. That's a better way to go. At least in terms of the studies that I found. Is there a study out there that might battle that? Yeah, potentially. But from what I found so far, that always seems to be where things are. Zinc, to my knowledge, has been absorbed pretty well by just taking it orally. So I think there you're okay. I don't think there we have so much a problem. So yeah, for those two, I think that's the way to go. And when I make a recommendation, again, I'm careful because, you want to not only protect myself, I never want to give someone advice that could potentially harm them in some way. And I don't always have access to see people's blood work. We have clients who give us their blood work, or they can even upload it onto some software that our company uses so we can see it. But most of the time we're flying without that. So we just make casual recommendations in terms of supplementation, give people some guidance. And at the end of the day, they should always consult with their physicians and such.
That makes sense because obviously doctors are I guess the final experts on health. So if someone wants to improve their health, the best place to start is with your doctor, and then work forward from there with your nutritionist, dietitians, and exercise coach. I guess that would be the best way forward, making sure we stick within the rules.
Yeah. Within that, yeah. I would say so. I mean, truthfully, if I would add one little caveat, I would say when it comes to building health, you want a health coach. When it comes to making those decisions, in your life and what you're going to consume, things like that, I'd say consult your MD and just make sure. And a lot of times, the honest truth is, a lot of times they're just not going to know, and they're just going to, like, I had a story yesterday. Like I said, I get these every day. I had a story yesterday from someone who was doing really, really, really well on a certain herb, and the doctor said, "Oh, wait a minute, we don't know what that's going to do to you." But meanwhile, without the herb, life was miserable. So, it's kind of a no-brainer to me, but the doctor does, they're just saying they don't understand the herb. This is an herb that's been used for thousands of years. I mean, again, everyone's got to make their own decisions, but I'm always careful to just point them in the way of, I will say, a good health coach, personal trainer, nutritionist. We are in the neighborhood. We're about building health. And when we're not going to prescribe anything, but we're in the world of building health, and that's what it's all about. And a doctor, I think it's the final say on some things.
Excellent. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching this video. If you've got any questions that you'd like our experts to answer, please leave them in the comments below.